Hey guys, what's up? Skahan here, coming back at you with, you guessed it, another Arma 3 classroom. Last episode we went over, your equipment, kind of got you familiarized with the arsenal, got you at least a basic kit for the vanilla. Today we're going to take it a little bit another step forward. Baby steps, guys, baby steps. Today we're going to be talking about, as you all have probably read, basic combat survival. So this is a simulator, like I've said a billion times in the past, and this is really where this game shines because you're gonna have to know some sort of a basic survival technique. Now, I've sat here and fought with myself for probably the last 20 minutes before I made this video, what to add, what not to add. In the spirit of keeping this roughly about 20 to 30 into 40 or possibly even 50 minutes, roughly in there, 30 to 50 minutes, less than an hour, I had to cut quite a bit out. And we're not going to be going through a tremendous amount, but it is probably the top areas that I think will definitely help you in the long run. So before all of that happens, we're going to go ahead and go into the editor. We're going to edit our map, so make sure you load in Stratus. The code that I'm about to put in, I will have it in the description. It works. I will show you that it works. Go ahead, load in your Arma 3 classroom. Alright, so once you're in this page, I'm going to get down here a little bit lower. Make sure section is F1, go to empty, type in ammo, scroll down to vehicle ammo. This is what I always use. Put it down, double click it. Alright, so just go through that because I probably went through it like a mad minute. F1, make sure single entity. Props, empty, or the empty symbol. Then ammo, scroll down to vehicle ammo box. It really doesn't matter. I use NATO. Then what you do, double click it. In the init, in this init field, object init, go ahead and paste this code. I will have it in the description. Go ahead, copy it, paste it in there, hit OK. Now go ahead and click save. Alright, let's jump into it. So once this loads up, this adds a virtual spawner. So as you can see, we have a code here that says Arsenal. Go ahead, pop Arsenal, let it load up. Go ahead down here to load. Grab your kit, your regular kit. And there, you're done. You got your kit. Boom. Now you can take this particular ammo box and paste it in any of your missions, and it works. Alright, so right off the bat, as you can see, your guy's probably like shown like this particular stance. This is what I call a ready stance. Obviously, I'm ready to shoot somebody in the face. But there's more to the stance than just, calling it a ready stance. Why I call it a ready stance is the weapon stance. The weapon hold itself is ready. So how do you go ahead and drop your weapon? Mine is double left control to put it down. This is low ready. As you can see, it's at a lowered area of the ground. You're pretty much not gonna shoot anybody. You're gonna have to actually try. Now I'm gonna double hit shift for me. Remember, controls, controls, controls. I'm using Arma 2, but I'm gonna walk. As you can see, he's pretty relaxed, pretty chill. I'm not really engaged. But notice up at the top right hand corner underneath the smoke, I'm not using any stamina. If I were to do this, yes, I don't use any stamina. If I go down and let's say I double tap, I'm running. Let me go ahead and jog, see how I'm jogging. It doesn't really, it depends on your stances how you really want to move around. I recommend, and this is what a lot of people have difficulties doing, walking everywhere you go till you get into combat. Save that stamina. That is probably one of the top things that's gonna help you. And we'll get into it. So this is what I call the low ready. Your weapon is at the low ready. You're moving, and I'm not the only one that calls it. Most military call it. This is where you can have the most field of view. Notice that if I put this up, you have, how much of your field of view. Yes, I can set here, I can put stuff on the crosshairs, I can do that. But if I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm looking for, I have a full field of view. Third person, again, I have this guy in front of me. Stay in first person. It does limit you, but you can move around, you can look around. I could zoom in, I could search things. Um, so that is the low ready. Your weapon is at the low ready. The ready is I am ready to shoot. I can sight in, I can do this, I can be looking around. But notice that part of my view, especially this area right here, is obscured. I can counter this by moving like this, but then you look crazy. Um, so if you don't have a reason to have the high, your ready stance, keep your weapon down. If you are, guarding something, keep your weapon down. There's no reason to have it up. You want to maximize your field of view. Maximize what your brain can intake in the imagery around you. And that's pretty much the weapon stances. So let's wrap it up. No, I'm kidding. That's just the weapon holds. Now we're going to talk about actual physical stances and what they do to you. To do this with your ready, you can go take a knee and you can stand. Take a knee and if you go prone, you're already in the ready. Whenever you come out of prone, you're at the ready. So your low ready can be kneeling or standing, just to cover those. But the stances is really where it shines to your ready stance. So, for example, let's say that I can't quite shoot over this for some reason. Let's say I can't. My stance key is left control W, and it props me up. As you can see, it props me up. Okay? That is useful to shoot a little bit over walls, to definitely get your barrel over. Sometimes your barrel will not clear. As you can see here, it definitely does clear either stance. This is a terrible freaking H barrier to practice on. But so this is what you would call the high stance, or the high stand. The high stand is you're shooting over an object. It's just a little bit taller than what you are, but you can barely get over it. You just need a little bit more. Also, if you're shooting at a downward angle, let's say there's a guy right here in front of me, boom, I can go ahead and pop up. Whereas if I go down, I'm shooting this. So just that little bit more helps. Now, as you can see, my head just barely comes over the top, and then it's substantially over the top. I mean, even just a little bit. Stand, this is it. This is your stand. You can go to kneeling. You can go back to your stand, and there you go. This is your regular stand. Now, one underneath this is a combat high crouch, which is this. You can see this because his knees are crouched quite a bit. Then you have your knee. Then you have your low knee. Then you have your extreme low knee. Then you have your sit, your prone, and then your prone left, or there. You got your prone left, or your actual lay down, which this is where you can shoot actually underneath of stuff. And then you have your right stance and your left stance. Now this is good if you're trying to shoot around objects, things like that. You're trying to get that perfect corner. The problem with these particular stances is your feet. If I'm sitting right here, my feet stick out, I can get shot in my feet. Definitely something like this would work, but notice that half my body's out. That doesn't work. So if I were to do something like this, boom. Now the problem with this is I cannot physically aim down my sights. Okay, so if I go to the full-on stand, or the full, lean left, lean right stance, I can. But if I go to that really, really low stance, kind of to minimize my silhouette, I can't. So these are the stances. Each one of them are good for different things. Most times, if you're standing, it will be like this. It'll be like this, and that's where you'll fight. You'll fight kneeling and you'll fight prone. Those are pretty much your hotkeys. So I hope that helped you with your stances. Maybe to me, I can do this by holding control. I can shift out, peek out a little bit better. I can do the same, as you can see. And if I stand up, there it is, boom. So Arma 3, you definitely play around with it and figure out what's, figure out your stance keys, bind them to make them easier for you. Okay, so movement. We've already did most of the very first part, which is a relaxed or low ready movement. Sorry, tongue twister. Basically what I'm doing here. So we've went ahead, we've talked about the position of your weapon, which there's two, the low ready and the ready. Of course, there is mods that have holster. I don't recommend just walking down with your holster. Some people will put their weapon on their back or bring their binoculars out. Don't do that. A lot of veterans you'll see do it, and they'll be like, yeah, you move so much faster. But if I do that, running, and then all of a sudden, so yeah, it seems pretty quick. But if I'm running and then all of a sudden someone's shooting at me, that's a couple seconds too long. Instead of I'm running, and then I can immediately start returning fire. I can immediately start putting rounds down range. So keep your weapon. Don't put it in a holster unless you absolutely have to. And don't pull out your binos. Literally, what are you going to do? Look someone to death? So your movement, walking, I highly suggest. As you can see, I ran my stamina all the way down. Walking builds your stamina. The low ready. So in a combination, I'm sitting here, I'm building stamina, and the lower your stamina, the more sway you have. So we seen that yesterday. The more sway you have, the more inaccurate you are, or the other video yesterday. So low ready, you want your weapon low ready, walk. It's too easy. You can sit here, I can enjoy the scenery. I can slow down. Too many people want something like this. Let's run. We got to get there fast. We got to do this. Stop. If you want to do that, go to Call of Duty. Don't do it here. Of course, if I double tip shift, and what your normal speed is roughly like this. This is what I consider a hasty movement. I'm moving fast, but I am not, I'm not in a rush. I'm just trying to cover some ground. I'm trying to get up here. Let's say there's contact at the gate. I need to get up here at this gate. This is a hasty movement. Okay. This is good for speeding up more than walking. You can cover a substantial amount of ground. But the thing is notice it slowly depletes your stamina. Now, let's say I take fire. Your last movement is rush. I'm rushing towards it. I'm going as fast as I can. As you can see, the stamina is dropping like a hammer. And I was maybe over at those H barriers to here. So as you can see, those are the two movements that you will need to know and you will need to master. Mastery, and while in movement, stamina. You have to manage your stamina. There's a lot of mods out there. I've heard non-stop complaints from my unit, stamina this and stamina that, and I can't run, and I can't do this and that and the other. And it's like, dude, in real life, you really put all this equipment on, do you want to run 20 miles? Are you going to be able to sprint 18 kilometers an hour for 20 kilometers? No, you're not. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. You're not going to run that far with all of that stuff on. And just with this, guys, if you look up, where am I? Actually, it doesn't show me on here. That's weird. Normally it does. You should be able to check your weight most times. But most of your equipment's going to be substantially heavy. So, dial it back. The reason I recommend walking is because if I were to run or rush or be hasty, I don't get the whole picture. Whereas right here, yeah, it's going to take, it could take me 4 seconds, 5 seconds to get to that telephone pole, but I can sit here, I can monitor, I can see tiny little movements. I might be able to see a muzzle. I might be able to see, something that's out of the ordinary. Something might catch my eye. Whereas if I'm rushing, I'm not going to see that. Okay, so the next thing to your survival, cover versus concealment, combat supported positions. So let's say I'm taking rounds here, okay? This, a lot of people say get in cover, and I see a lot of rookies go right here. This is not cover. This is concealment. I am concealing my position. You don't know where I am, or you have a very limited area to know where I am. That's why people, snipers and stuff like that, get in here in the bushes. You can't quite see them. They're sneaky, sneaky squirrels. But this doesn't stop anything. This doesn't stop anything at all. And to kind of prove that, we're going to go ahead. We're going to spawn in. Let's just spawn in a beggar. Okay. And did the leaves stop the bullets? No, they didn't. Mr. Man didn't make it. That's something to consider. So concealment. Concealment hides your position. Not all the time. Cover, this is the second, cover is something hard that will physically stop a bullet. Okay? It will physically stop a bullet. So this could be cars, vehicles, anything like that. Buildings, structures, things to that nature. So, hello Mr. Man. Mr. Man's there. Now I'm going to shoot through this rock and kill him. And he's not even phased. Didn't do anything. So now he takes off running. So concealment versus, or cover versus concealment. What to do, when, where, and how. So what I always do, the rule of thumb, if you get offended by that, leave my channel immediately. I've actually had somebody do that, get mad at me because I said that reference. So heartbreakers or not. The rule of thumb that I use, in the daytime, I move cover to cover. No matter what, no concealment to cover, no cover to cover. Or no concealment to concealment, no concealment to cover, no cover to concealment. I always go cover to cover. At nighttime, I will more or less move towards concealment to cover to concealment, kind of going like that. If I have to, concealment to concealment, but I will normally always try to put something hard, even if it's a tree. Put something hard that will not, if I get shot at, I can hide behind. So that is something that you need to remember, because if you're just out here in the open, even though this isn't populated, I would still be thinking, where would I want to run to? Do I want to run left? There's cover, there's a lot of cover, but you got to think outside of the box. Where am I going to run after that? I don't have any freaking flippers. Do I run right? There's a sheer cliff. Do I run straight? Do I run behind? Well, seeing as it looks like this area right here is closer than this area right here, I am going to run probably right up in here. So if I take shots, I'm going to get off the road. I'm going to get out of the open. I'm going to get into this cover. Concealment's going to help break me up. Hopefully the AI will lose me, or hopefully, a branch may deflect around. But see, I'm going to get up into here. See, I can do more than what I could over there. See, if I was over there, there's not much I could do. I'm pretty much going to pin myself. All they have to do is, if I was getting hit, shots from over there and taking shots from right there, there's no way I'm getting out of it. At least here I can put something hard. If they're still zeroing in on me, I can pull back. I can put stuff between me and them. I can maneuver up. I can get a higher elevation. I can get lower. And look, see this small indentions in the ground? So remember what I was telling you about? I can sit here. I can do this, which is kind of a bug, but I can kind of hide myself a little bit better. Now that is an ass that can rival Kim Kardashian. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so I hope that helped you with your combat supported positions. Move cover to cover. Cover will stop your rounds, or stop the rounds. They will also stop yours. So again, make sure you have the right stance. Again, make sure that you're not putting your head too far up, and things to that nature. So our next position here, our next topic we're gonna hit is fire rates, or rates of fire. It doesn't really matter how much you want to change them. It's just, that's basically how it is. We want rates of fire. So as you can see, we have 15 magazines still, or 14 magazines. You know, one of the, you know, between stamina, between moving cover to cover, cover to concealment, you know, that's all stuff that's going to help you stay alive. Stamina is going to keep you mobile. It's going to keep you fast. It's going to keep the enemy guessing. Go in short, quick bursts. Get that. Close the distance. Fix your enemy if you can. Get to higher elevation than your enemy, so you can fight from a higher elevation. You can fight from a superior fighting position. Make sure it's you're in cover, other than concealment. If you are moving, and make sure it is either between, you know, cover to cover and you're taking rounds, cover to concealment to cover, things like that. Make sure you want to keep something to protect you. Now we're going to talk about opening fire back. So if I go ahead and switch here, and let's say there's a homeboy right here. Okay, so what we have right now is single fire. So if you flip your selector switch on your rifle and you have the same kit I do, which you guys should, you have single shot, full auto. So single shot is the first one. I'm setting here. I'm putting well aimed shots, and you can see them impacting. I'm putting well aimed shots roughly in the exact same group. Okay. Sustained fire is something that where I can sit here and do this for quite a long time. Me and my buddy can sit here and shoot, and he can be, let's say, 4 rounds behind me, and he's pow, 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 reloading. I'm up, pow, pow. So while he's reloading, I'm shooting. Now he's shooting the same as me. Okay, so it's something that will constantly keep, if it's a player, they will keep their head down. So if he's right here at this window, I don't know if you guys will be, let's say that this is a window right here. If I keep doing that, you know, or he's around that ledge, I'm gonna keep him away. I'm gonna keep his head away from seeing me. I'm gonna keep him pinned down. Okay. The next is rapid fire, or fully auto. Or burst. Normally it's full auto, switch to burst. And how you do the burst. Okay, I'm reloading. And I'm going to go ahead and stabilize my weapon so I can better help you guys. So I stabilize my weapon. This would be considered rapid. And then cyclic. Cyclic is, I recommend never using it unless you're in the oh shit moment. Like, oh shit, I'm screwed. There's, you know, and most of you use cyclic rate. Don't sit here and lie. Cyclic is, oh no, this guy is going to screw me. And cyclic is as fast as that chamber can fire, as fast as this gun can fire, I fire as fast as I can. I don't stop. 240s, 249s, things like that, it will really, really, you can really tell a difference. So just to give you kind of an overview, well, a slight overview of kind of what that would mean. Let me find turrets, 50. Okay, so we got a 50 cal here, and this is really where it stems from. Go to Zeus, controls. You guys don't have to do this. I'm just doing this for a demonstration. So again, I'm in a 50 caliber machine gun. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, the guy is hiding behind here, so I'm going. That single. Sustained. Rapid. The oh shit moment. Now notice the rounds that are bouncing off. Notice that I'm shooting everywhere. Okay, enough of that. So those are the rates of fire. You need to know that. You need to know what you have. Okay, 15 magazines times 30. Do the math. That's how many rounds you have. How many rounds are you willing to spend before you go, okay, maybe I need to, do I need to conserve ammo, things to that nature. What do I need to do to keep myself in the fight? And lastly is shoot, move, and communicate. This is a military song. We sit here and sing it whenever we're running, but that is exactly what it is. The previous video we told you to communicate. You should be developing your communication skills, telling you where you are. So we're going to assault this compound here. I'm going to wait for my stamina to come up. We're going to assault this compound here. I've got a buddy, invisible buddy behind me. And I'm going to show you kind of how this is going to play out. So I don't need the telescopic sight. I'm going to be in close quarters. So knowing your combat battlefield, or your combat area, it is important. Stamina is almost up, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm moving up. I'm getting into position. The enemy doesn't know I'm here. Okay, I'm going to sweep this and clear it as fast as I can, because speed is key. Speed is the key whenever you're doing this. So I'm here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm sweeping. I'm going to go ahead and sweep. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get prepared. Let's say there's nothing but enemies in here. You always start the conflict with your highest casualty producing weapon. So if I had a 240 or a 249, then he'd be over there on that hill, and he would start the fire. All I have is a hand grenade. So a hand grenade out, and I'm going to throw another one for good measure. I'm going to go ahead here, wait for the second. Now we're moving. Again, moving quickly. We're sweeping. We're sweeping. Make sure you're watching stuff. My buddy's got my back. Alright, I'm going to chuck a hand grenade in here. Wait for it. Going in. Now the reason I sprinted through here is I rushed in, it dropped my weapon. So I'm temporarily unarmed. Because the last thing you want to do is you want to stand in the door. So you rushed in, I rushed in, and the first thing I did was sweep to my left. Cleared. Now let's say, okay, rapid fire. So let's say there was somebody up there. I came around. Okay, he's down. Opening. And the entire time I'm sitting here communicating. So to run back through it one more time before we end this video. Okay, I throw a hand grenade. Boom. Moving. I rush in. Alright, courtyard clear, moving. Moving up, stairs. I got the stairs. Alright, I'm off the stairs. I'm transitioning. Grenade in the hole. Waiting. Bang. Breaching. Open the door. In. Breach. Clear. Left clear. Clear it. Moving the stairwell. One down. Preparing to breach the roof. One coming out. Clear. Moving. One down. And then immediately you know that this building is clear. Sweep. We got one more building to do. Courtyard's clear. Surrounding area is clear. I would have my buddy stay up there. Or while I'm clearing that top floor, he's moving out to here. Alright, you got me? Opening. Clear. And then compound's clear. Okay, so how did we use everything we did? So whenever I came up, I was at the ready. I stayed at the ready the entire time because I was in combat. Okay, I stayed at a lower stance until I got ready to come in. As soon as I came in, noticed that I was in the open, I was standing. Standing gives me more mobility. I can move faster. I was doing more of a hasty mixed with a rush, a dynamic movement pattern. I was trying to get myself from cover to cover as fast as I could to get these steel plates. These steel plates are bulletproof. Then I switched my gun to full auto. I knew I was going to be close quarters, so sometimes you don't want to have that. Sometimes you can. You know, I switched mine, but notice I didn't go cyclic. I went, okay? So I went rapid fire, and then I was communicating. I was shooting, maneuvering, and communicating. Why? Because if I'm a player and I'm up here, and all of a sudden I hear a grenade go off underneath me, and I look here, the guy's already in. He's already in. So I'm sitting here, what the hell? And then the door opens, or I open the door, I come here, and then I'm already shot. So you're communicating. You're telling your guys, all right, 1 clear, 2 clear, 3 clear. Things like that. You're communicating where you are, taking what we did. Remember, where you are in space-time and conveying that to your buddies. So I'm going to end this video here. Like I said, this is not the 100% full version of this. Basic combat survival takes substantially more to know. And we'll definitely get to that in another video. So this is the part 1 of basic combat survival. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned stuff. If you're following along, great. Continue to follow along. We're going to do expansive. We're gonna get out of this basic stuff here in probably the next couple videos, and then we're gonna go right into intermediate, and you're gonna be talking vehicles and different support weapons and different things like that, maneuvers, large-scale combats up into specific MOSs, flying, artillery, computing, things like that, support artillery, team leading, squad leading, platoon leading, commanders, things like that, battle space commanders, JTACs. So we are just at the the very tip top of the iceberg. We'll be getting down to the fun stuff as fast as we can, but basics, basics, basics. Definitely rewatch it. Definitely go back, look at all the videos. Make sure that one thing that you'll understand is the basics can never be perfected. You always work on them, but they are never perfect. You can always increase the basics. Basics are going to help anything else you do. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like it, sub up, but most of all, go forth and be badasses.